really appreciate that. So who knows who this young lady is? Literally hated my life that much that I couldn't be a princess, right? I just was like, no, I was trying to wear, get a short skirt on and try to get it in, and he was like, no, you're too ugly for a chick. So, I mean, these are people here who are changing the way people think about business, and, you know, Sinead's done, and, you know, Olivia's no different, you know, the youngest ever talk about, I'm 35 years old, and he cod liver oil and I ate when I get out of bed. It took me this long to find my dream. What about, you know, people out there who are, you know, who just turned 21 years old? That's phenomenal, right? Amazing, give her a round of applause. So, 21 tender years. So, before we get into the hints and tips, I'd just love you to share your story with the guys so far.
Fab, thank you. Thanks for having me as well. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hi. Right, can you all do me one favour? Yes. Yes.
Soft crowd.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. Can you turn to the person to the left and say, "Oh my gosh, you are so good looking. I hope I see you at the party later," and give them a wink.
I think there's a few promises been made there.
Yeah, no. I did see a few extra cheeky double winks as well, so you can thank me later, everyone. Yeah, so my story, I started in February 2014. I was just on Twitter, and then Lauren, my upline, followed me, and I followed her back, and then she was saying, like, I'm looking for 2 team members. So I was at the time doing voiceovers for Barbie on telly, doing like lots of extra work, working in the cinema as well, because I was trying to like see what I wanted to do really. So I was working about 4 days a week, all night shifts in the cinema. And I just thought like, yeah, like I haven't really found what I want to do, so I'll just give this a go and see how it pans out. So I started, and I don't know if anyone can really relate to me, but do you know when you first start and then you post like 10 times and you think that you're just going to be bringing it all in? Anyone else like that? So yeah, so that was me. So I posted like 10 times, and then like I got no likes, and you know, I'm sort of used to getting some likes from my stuff, so I was like, oh my gosh, like, no likes, like I'm not doing this anymore. And then like Lauren said to me, oh my gosh babe, like how's it going? And I was like, yeah, well, it's not actually going that well, to be honest, Lauren, like I haven't made any sales or anything like that. And then she was like, okay babe, like just post that you're looking for team members. So I was like, okay, I'll post I'm looking for team members. And as soon as I got one client beforehand with that, and then as soon as I posted I was looking for 2 team members, out of my many clients that month, that client said to me, oh, I'd like to become a team member. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like, that's fine, yeah. Like, not realising anything really, like, what it meant to get a team member. So she became a team member, and then, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how amazed she was. She got 12 sales in her first few days, and I remember thinking, like, what? Like, how can you do that? And so as soon as she smashed it, I started to smash it as well. So I then went, Lauren told me if you get 12 sales, she gets 12 sales, you'll reach SDD. So I was like, oh my gosh, Lauren, I'm gonna do it. So I did it, and I got 12 sales, and Holly got 12 sales, and we reached SDD. So I said to Lauren, like, oh my gosh, I've done it, like, we've reached SDD, and then she was like, no babe, like, you've done SDD, and Holly hasn't. And I was like, right, yeah. So I was like, oh, so Holly. I was like, yeah, so I've made SDD. Yeah, and I was like, but you haven't, Holly. So, and then she was like, right, but if anyone's sort of worried about it, she actually got 10 sales on the last day of the month. So I just wanted to share that story with you so you can see, like, if you really want to go for it, you can have anything you want. I find that a lot of people give up on the last hurdle. Like, Holly could have gone, nah, that's it, I'm not bothering now, it's the last day. But she was like, no way, like, SDD is mine, and so she got it. So really quickly, fast forwarding onto that, I then went from SDD to NMD in 4 months. I was still working at the cinema, you know, 4 days a week. And at this point, oh my gosh, I was in the toilet all the time checking my phone, and my bosses 100% thought I had a bowel problem. And I was like, oh, I couldn't really say anything because I couldn't be like, oh, I'm just, catching up with the clients and everything. So they thought I had bowel problems, and that was all fine because I was, I was like, I don't mind. So I hit NMD and then went from NMD to PMD this month, really, and I had my goal to be the youngest presidential marketing director in the world at 20. So I hit that.
Okay, cool, great story, right? And then that's what the stories are about. Can you relate? These are just everyday people who just had a dream and a vision, and they took action on that, and that leads me in like an absolute pro that I am into my next question. So talk about why a vision board is so important to you and it's helped you along this journey.
I think it's super important to have a vision board. I always have one myself, and it just gives me a focus. I save it as my screensaver every day, so that every single day when I have, I might have a bad moment or something, I'll see what I'm working towards, and I think that is so important. You're going to have lots of knocks when you're trying to get to PMD, it's so normal, but if you have something there so you can see, right, this is why I'm working towards it, I'm not going to let anyone get in my way, then that's something that I think is absolutely vital. So, can you see the vision board up there? Yeah, so this is my vision board here. My one was to hit Club 100, which I hit. And then also, oh my gosh, some girls will definitely relate, to get the Chanel bag, the classic Chanel bag. That was my absolute dream, and they're fairly expensive, so I managed to get that. And then I've got lots of other bits and bobs on there, and then one's to save for my property, which is a very, very big goal, because I want to have a flat in London, and realistically, the one I want is going to be over £1 million. So that's an absolutely gigantic goal that I have set myself, to have in a few years. So I just think every time you hit it, you need to think of something new as well, and have a vision board consistently, because it's something that you can see that you're going to work towards too. No? All right.
What Olivia's not told you, she's going to buy that house cash with this month's wages. That's how much she's been paid. Exactly. Okay, next question. So again, with Sinead, we wanted to really say, hey, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis? That's what it's about. You're not going to wake up and be successful. It's the little things, me and John are going to talk about it next, that you do every day, which leads to success, or the little things that you don't do every day, which are going to undo your success. So for you, what's your DMO, like your daily method of operation? What do you do every day which leads to your success?
Yeah, so I think having a DMO is absolutely vital. If you don't have a list every day, then you really are planning to fail. I would honestly say to get to PMD, all it is just loads of small, tiny efforts, but consistently. I do it whether I'm absolutely, so ill, I will still make sure that my DMO gets done. So I think that's like another great thing as well, that you don't have to do a massive, huge effort really to get to PMD. All it is that you are consistent and you're, working harder, not smarter. So some of my things every single day, and I still do this as a PMD because I think it's super important to lead by example, so my team know that every day I grind and I hustle just as hard as they do. So I try to go for one sale, one team member every day. I do creative posts on Facebook, so not just Juice Plus related, so a lot of the time I'll do funny quotes or funny pictures. I think it's really important that you're doing that, so you're not boring. I mean, who likes to see the consistent Juice Plus person that just throws it up everywhere? And when you sit there like, oh no, please, not again. So I think that's important, have a nice creative thing. Post about your shape, post about your capsules, get a funky little jar and put it in the jar your shape, and then say how amazing that is. Have you lost any pounds? Post in the support group, that's another vital one. Your main team members are going to be coming from your support group, so if you just sign them up and leave them there, you're really not doing yourself any favours. So I think you need to post in the support group, same thing, post shaped capsules, ask your clients how they're getting on. If they see you there, they'll see that you're supporting them with their journey, less refunds, and more likely that they're going to think, oh, she actually really cares how I'm doing, and then eventually they can become your team members. One of my best team members is Charlotte Carsley, and she was one of my fab clients beforehand, and then she's now going to be turning EMT this month. And yeah, she was my client firsthand, and basically all my team members have been my clients, so I think that's really key that you're looking after your clients in the support group. Team member posts, so you're looking for, I like to say I'm looking for just 2 new team members. You know, it makes it a rush. People are like, oh my gosh, only 2, like I want to be the 2. So that's another thing which I like to do, works for me. And check up on your team members, you know, set goals, have a group chat with them, have a WhatsApp, have Zoom calls, set incentives for particular people and particular legs that you need to grow, and loads of things that you can do like that. But I'd say that's probably my typical DMO each day.
Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that. The next thing now that's come up on the screen is kind of like some general top tips before we close with some stuff. So just like kind of everyday stuff, you could share your wisdom, you know, the reason why you've been successful, the top tips for these guys, what would they be?
The first one is definitely believe in yourself. I firmly believe that if you don't believe in yourself, then how can anyone else believe in you? You know, I wanted to make PMD the youngest in the world. I cannot tell you how many people said, nah, you're never going to do that, Olivia, you're 20. Like, you used to do Barbie stuff. And I just think, at the end of the day, like, who was the last one standing and laughing? Like, PMD, I did it at 20, and I believed in myself, so you need to believe in yourself. It takes time, but I think that's definitely one of my top tips, you know, say to yourself positive words and speak positive affirmations over yourself. So moving on would be, say the position that you're going for that month out loud. So every single month, and this one's quite interesting actually, when I was NMD, people think that I just actually smashed it, but it took me 9 months to go from NMD to IMD. Every single month, Lauren will know, I would say, I am International Marketing Director. Every single month, and I literally like be cruising around the house and I'll be like, you're right, and I'm like, I am International Marketing Director. Like literally just like following around the house. So I think it sounds like silly, but it is the most important thing. If you say it, the more times you say it, the more times you are going to believe it, and you can't just expect yourself to believe it. You just need to be putting it inside yourself. And especially the month that when I was going PMD, honestly, every single day, like Mum would ask me a question, I'd still be like, I am PMD, youngest in the world, Presidential Marketing Director. So that's just something that I'd say is super important. Listen to your heart. Like if you're watching me right now and you think, oh my gosh, like I'd love to be on stage. You know, I watched James in Barcelona and I thought, oh my gosh, I want to be on stage. That's what I want to do. And I made it happen. People say, oh, Olivia, you're so lucky, but it's like, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. I worked extremely hard to get to where I am. I had a dream in my heart and I never let it go. Whatever anyone said to me, you know, I've had lots of knockdowns. I've been upset loads of times through this, and I'm sure we've all had loads of haters, loads of stuff. So maybe I know we're like haters, yeah. So we love it. But I just think, yeah, just like listen to your heart. If you have it, you can do it. I'm telling you that you are special. If you have a goal in your heart, you can and will do it. You just need to keep pushing. And you know, I always find like the moment when you want to quit is the moment when it's really going to happen. So those are some of my top tips.
It's so powerful what you said there, because there's always someone who can relate to someone else, and you said you do the events, right? It's where the magic happens. Who agrees?
Yep.
And people are sat here now. The next time you do an event like this, you guys are going to be on here sharing your story. You just got to decide if you sat there now whether that's you. That's it. You know, and some people, everyone wants it. The difference is some people take massive action on that feeling. They can bottle that up and they never forget it. And that's what these girls did, right? Massive round of applause for these girls. Just kind of quickly on your positivity and negativity, because it's an inevitable part of the journey, right?
Being positive is one of the main keys to unlocking your success. You know, social media is your shop window. A lot of people say, oh, I'm really not getting anywhere, but then I see that they're like, oh my gosh, I've just been sick everywhere from last night, and I hate my life, and I want to die. And then you're like, yeah, well then, like, you're not going to get any sales if people see that, or like, you know, they're saying stuff like, I've just typed it in on Google, and I've got this disease, and I am going to die, everyone, so if you don't hear from me, it's because I'm dead. But I'm setting actual orders later. And you're like, yeah, no, I'm not going to order, so you have to be positive. I remember when I was going IMD, I actually wanted to die. I can't tell you, I was so ill, when Liz rang me and was like, Olivia, you've gone IMD, I was like, okay, like, see you later. Like, so I just had conjunctivitis, chest infection, I couldn't see, like, it was absolutely horrendous. Luckily you can work at home though, so no one knew I looked that awful. But it just shows, you know, no one knew I was ill. You know, my team, I had to say one day, like, guys, got conjunctivitis and I can't see anything, so it won't be on for the evening. But other than that, no one knew I was ill, so, you know, social media is your shop window, and it's important, you know, I've got a task for you, go through your Facebook now and check, is it positive? You know, are you inspiring people? You know, look through the last 24 hours, you know, is it positive? And that's something that I'd say is very, very important to do. Be professional, you know, I would say, not loads of swear words. You know, some people like it and it floats their boat, but I just think it's good to be super professional. And try not to, because, you know, it can put people, you know, for me, I think if I saw Lauren, like, being super gangster, I'd be like, oh yeah, no. Like, that's not going to happen. So that's one, be professional on Facebook. Negativity, oh my gosh, just don't whine about it. Please just ignore it, delete it and block. Like, just get about your life. You're going to have it all the way. Like, if you want to go to the top, I promise you, you will be hit down every single day, and you need to just get over it. The quicker you can get over it, the faster you are going to get to where you want to be. So, you know, don't take a hit in part. Use the hits to motivate you. Don't take offence if someone says no to the product. You know, they're saying no to the product. That's not necessarily you, to be honest. And I just see it in my mind that every no brings me closer to a yes, and that's how you have to see it. You know, you have to be positive, because otherwise you're going to get down. And if you're going to get down, then you're going to quit eventually. So who's losing, really? So you have to be super, super positive, and then eventually you'll get to where you want to be. So be relentless and leave the haters far, far behind, because it's going to happen. And yeah, just love life. Life for living.
Give them a round of applause. There's a cycle of business previously, you know, where there was lots of promotions, and then it's been a different phase of business, more of a steady growth over the last year or so, we thought. And then these two girls come in, and I've almost shown the way to lots of people, and made people realise, oh, maybe it's not steady, maybe it's just us selling ourselves, it's steady. So what happens in this business? You get inspired upline, downline, sideline, by people who are doing it basically. In person, I've been inspired by both these girls. I know everyone else has. I want you to give a massive round of applause, please.